The headlines are everywhere, right? On your newsfeed, in your podcasts, on the news. You've seen them. AIs that write poetry, compose music, and create breathtaking art from a few words. And with every new mind-blowing demo, the same question gets a little louder. Is this 3-pound miracle of evolution in our heads about to become obsolete? We're told that AI is coming for our jobs, our art, and even the act of thinking itself. The story they're selling is a relentless march toward a future where human intellect is, at best, a charming relic. It's a story of replacement, of competition. And for a lot of us, it's a story that's frankly terrifying. The fear is understandable. We see AI models passing the bar exam, diagnosing diseases, and writing code. We've seen them get so good that over 70% of creative professionals believe AI will fundamentally transform their work. It feels like we're all standing on the shore, watching a tidal wave of silicon intelligence gather on the horizon, about to wash away everything we thought was uniquely human. What's a thought worth when a machine can have 1 million of them in the time it takes you to have one? What's the point of a painter's struggle or a poet's torment when an algorithm can produce something that looks, sounds, and feels almost the same? But what if that entire story, the one about competition and replacement, is just fundamentally wrong? What if the real, hard data from neuroscience and computer science tells a completely different story? What if I told you there are scientific, biological, and philosophical reasons why AI cannot, and will not, ever truly replace your brain? In the next few minutes, we're going to dismantle the myth of the AI takeover. Not with opinions or speculation, but with groundbreaking research that reveals the fundamental, unreplicable differences that make your mind the single most powerful and irreplaceable technology in the known universe. This isn't a battle. It's a revelation. Section 1. The creativity conundrum: the ghost in the machine. Let's start with the crown jewel of human cognition: creativity. This is where the AI hype is loudest. We see AI art winning competitions and read AI scripts that mimic our favorite authors. The conclusion seems obvious: machines are now creative. But this is probably the biggest misunderstanding of all. What we're seeing isn't creativity. It's incredibly sophisticated mimicry. Think of it like this: a generative AI is like a student who has read every book in the library. Every single one. It has perfect recall of every style, technique, and plot twist ever used. When you ask it to create something new, it doesn't invent. It synthesizes. It analyzes your request, identifies the most probable patterns from its massive database, and mashes them together into something that statistically fits your prompt. It's a collage artist on an unimaginable scale, but it has never had an original thought. It is, in essence, a probabilistic parrot. Groundbreaking new research confirms this in stunning detail. A 2026 study from the University of Barcelona set out to test this very idea. They pitted an image-generating AI against professional visual artists and the general public, using abstract stimuli to spark imagination. The results were unequivocal. Human evaluators consistently rated the work of the visual artists as the most creative, followed by the non-artist humans. The AI came in third when guided by a human, but when left to its own devices, its performance was abysmal. The study's authors stated it plainly: the AI's creative abilities are not genuine, because it requires human guidance at every single stage. It doesn't have the spark, it can only reflect the sparks of others. This isn't just a software bug to be patched, it's a fundamental difference in how we operate. Neuroimaging shows us that human creativity isn't one thing. It's a dynamic dance between different brain networks. It's switching between focus and daydreaming, logic and intuition, memory and wild speculation. It's a messy, inefficient, and deeply biological process. An AI model is a closed system, a logical process from start to finish. It has no lived experience, no joy, no heartbreak, no awe, no sense of self. Psychologists argue this is the core of true creativity, intentionality. Humans decide to create. We're motivated by an internal drive. An AI just responds to a prompt. It has no skin in the game. In fact, over-relying on AI for creative tasks risks the exact opposite of innovation: homogenization. A study from Wharton found that while business professionals using ChatGPT could produce ideas faster, their output was less diverse than those brainstorming without AI. In one experiment, 94% of the ideas from ChatGPT users shared overlapping concepts. Everyone was converging on the same, good, ideas. Another study in PNAS Nexus found the same thing across multiple large language models, calling it the sameness paradox. This suggests that using AI for brainstorming doesn't expand our thinking. It risks narrowing it, steering us all down the same well-trodden statistical path. The wild, unpredictable leaps of faith that lead to true breakthroughs? That remains a uniquely human domain. Section 2. The emotion gap. Can a machine truly understand? This leads us to an even deeper chasm between us and our silicon counterparts: emotion. We're constantly told that AI is developing emotional intelligence. We see chatbots that offer sympathetic phrases and assistants that recognize the frustration in our voice. But again, we have to draw a hard line between simulation and substance. An AI can be trained on 1 million conversations to recognize that when a person uses certain words, a certain tone, and a specific facial expression, the corresponding label is sad. It can then learn to spit out a response that is statistically associated with a comforting reaction. But at no point does the AI feel sadness. It doesn't understand the hollow ache in your chest or the weight of a memory. One expert compared it to a black and white camera detecting the wavelength for the color red. It can identify it, but it cannot experience the richness of the color itself. Studies show people consistently rate art as having less sensitivity and emotional quality when they believe an AI created it. This emotion gap isn't trivial. Emotion isn't just a distraction from our logical thoughts, it's foundational to our intelligence. Our feelings, our intuition, our gut reactions, these are powerful data processing systems honed by millions of years of evolution. They help us make decisions with incomplete information and navigate complex social dynamics. AI lacks this entirely. It operates on logic and data alone, which makes it incredibly powerful for certain tasks but deeply limited in others. For example, AI's inability to genuinely feel means it can't provide the nuanced support needed for deep personal challenges, because it has no access to shared human experience. This lack of genuine empathy is a hard barrier in any field that relies on true human connection: leadership, therapy, deep journalism, or moral judgment. You can't program a machine to understand the moral weight of a decision when it can't feel the consequences. You can't teach it loyalty or sacrifice, because these aren't logical concepts, they're emotional commitments. The danger, as researchers point out, is our human tendency to anthropomorphize, to project our own feelings onto non-human things. We might start to trust the simulated empathy of a machine over the messy, imperfect empathy of another human, eroding our own social connections. True emotional intelligence, the kind that builds relationships, is not a feature to be programmed. It is an emergent property of our biological, embodied existence. And without that, AI will always be on the outside looking in. Section 3. The architecture of thought: silicon versus synapses. So, AI can't truly be creative, and it can't truly feel. But surely, you might think, its brain is getting more and more like ours, right? This is the third great myth, that AI models and human brains are becoming structurally similar. And while AI is definitely taking inspiration from the brain, the underlying architectures remain worlds apart. Your brain is not a computer. A computer has a separate processor and memory, and data gets shuttled back and forth, creating bottlenecks and consuming massive amounts of energy. Your brain is totally different. In the brain, processing and memory are the same thing. Every neuron and synapse is both a processor and a memory unit, all working in parallel. That's why your brain, with its 86 billion neurons, runs on about 20 watts of power, enough for a dim light bulb. The data centers needed to run large AI models can consume the energy of a small country. This has led to a revolutionary new field called neuromorphic computing, which aims to build chips that actually mimic the brain's architecture. Researchers are making incredible progress. In 2025, engineers at Georgia Tech developed TopoNets, an AI algorithm that groups neurons with similar tasks together, just like in the brain, to boost efficiency. Other breakthroughs are mimicking the brain's feedback loops to give models a kind of intuition like confidence. And in April 2026, work from Northwestern University demonstrated printed artificial neurons made from graphene that could successfully stimulate real mouse brain cells. This sounds like AI is getting closer to being a brain, but it's more accurate to say that engineers are finally realizing just how superior the brain's blueprint is. For decades, the mantra in AI was, bigger is better. Neuromorphic computing is a shift, prioritizing smart design over brute force. But even with these advances, we are only scratching the surface. Research on these biologically inspired models shows they are better at simulating the activity of an untrained human brain, suggesting our brain's architecture is hardwired for learning in a way that AI is not. We can learn from a handful of examples. AI requires mountains of data. And even when the brain and AI show similar activity patterns, for instance, in language processing, it doesn't mean they're doing the same thing. It's like two students getting the same answer to a math problem. One used calculus, the other algebra. The process is entirely different. The race isn't about AI catching up to the brain. It's about our understanding of the brain finally giving AI a better blueprint to follow. We're digging into some deep concepts here, from neuroscience to AI architecture. If you're finding this journey into the mind fascinating, and you want to keep exploring the frontiers of science with us, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. We believe understanding the future starts with understanding ourselves, and that's what we do here every week. Section 4. The new reality: AI as the ultimate collaborator. So if AI isn't going to replace us, if it can't replicate our creativity, our emotions, or our mind's architecture, then what is it for? This is where the story pivots from fear to excitement. The future isn't a battle. The future is a partnership. AI isn't our competitor, it's our collaborator. It's the most powerful tool our species has ever invented, and it's here to augment our intelligence, not make it obsolete. The evidence for this collaborative synergy is overwhelming. A massive analysis from MIT Sloan looked at over 100 studies on human AI performance and found that in nearly every case, the human AI team dramatically outperformed either humans or AI working alone. In a classic image classification example, humans alone were 81% accurate, and AI alone was 73% accurate. But together? Their accuracy jumped to 90%. It's a true synergy where AI's computational power and our intuitive judgment create something greater than the sum of its parts. We're seeing this play out everywhere. In medicine, AI acts as a tireless assistant, scanning thousands of images to flag potential anomalies for a human radiologist to review, freeing them up to focus on the most complex cases. Recent studies show that when doctors are augmented by an LLM, their diagnostic accuracy in complex cases improves significantly. In the creative fields, it's the same story. Instead of replacing artists, AI is becoming a cybernetic teammate. A designer can generate 100 visual concepts in minutes, then use their human taste and intuition to refine the most promising ones. One PNAS Nexus report even found that artists who successfully use AI to explore new ideas, but filter them through their own human sensibility, are evaluated more favorably. The key is that human ideation and filtering are still the core of creativity. This is the new reality. AI excels at scale, data processing, and repetitive tasks. Humans excel at purpose, context, empathy, and asking the right questions. AI can analyze the what, but we provide the why. The future of work isn't about being replaced, it's about being promoted. Promoted from tedious tasks to roles that require our most human skills: strategy, critical thinking, creativity, and connection. Of course, this partnership isn't without risks. We have to be mindful of the sameness paradox, and make sure we don't let AI flatten our creativity. We need robust ethical oversight. But these are challenges of implementation, not existential threats. They are problems to be solved, not a destiny to be feared. So, will AI really replace your brain? The answer, from the cutting edge of science, is a resounding no. The headlines have been selling a zero-sum game, but the reality is far more hopeful. Your brain is not a machine to be replicated, it is a biological marvel to be augmented. AI lacks genuine, independent creativity. It is a mirror reflecting the data it has been fed, not a window into a new world. It lacks genuine emotion. It can simulate empathy but cannot feel it, a gap that prevents true understanding. And its architecture, for all its brain-inspired progress, is still a shadow of the biological efficiency and complexity perfected over millions of years of evolution. The future, then, is not one of obsolescence. It is one of collaboration. It's a future where AI handles the computation, and we provide the consciousness. A future where AI manages the data, and we provide the wisdom. A future where our minds, freed from mundane processing, are unleashed to do what they do best: to dream, to invent, to connect, and to lead. The rise of AI doesn't diminish the value of the human mind, it illuminates it. It forces us to recognize that our greatest strengths aren't our ability to calculate or remember, but our capacity to feel, to judge, to imagine, and to find meaning. These are not tasks that can be automated. This is the uniquely human work that remains. The question is no longer, will a machine take my job? The question now is, what magnificent new things can I create with this impossibly powerful new tool? The next chapter of human history isn't about being replaced. It's about being empowered. But that's my analysis based on the latest research. What do you think? What's one area of life or work where you believe the human touch will always be irreplaceable? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to like and subscribe for more explorations into the future of science and humanity. Thanks for watching.